Welcome to NFL Super Sim. In this video, you'll be introduced to the simulator and its primary features will be demonstrated. At its heart, Super Sim is a website that hosts an algorithm carefully crafted to simulate football games as true to life as possible while also being extremely fast. You can use the application for free at the link provided in the description. Let's begin with the matchup sim. Here, you can pit two teams against each other. Let's choose an away team and a home team and simulate 100 games. In the blink of an eye, all 100 are already over. What you see here is the last game's box score, detailing the stats for each player. We can also see the totals on which teams win more often. Try hitting the Show Average Stats button to see the per-game numbers. You can see how often a quarterback will throw a touchdown, interception, and how often the running backs and receivers will get the ball. Every game that was simulated in that batch can be viewed on an individual basis. Simply hit the View button to the right of the game you want to see. Here, we can see a game that was a blowout. Let's see the game log. Here, you can drill down to see every drive and even every play. Next, let's try changing something in the roster to affect the matchup. You can do this in the Depth Chart editor. Choose a team and a position, and here we can manipulate the players standing on the depth chart. Use the arrow buttons to move players up and down. Let's try making a change at quarterback but not with the proper backup. Instead, let's place the team's punter into the starting role. Select the punter from the drop-down menu. Then, hit the check button to replace the current player. Remember to hit Save Changes before you leave. We will run the previous matchup. As you would expect, the Packers lose far more often now. Those are some ghastly passing numbers. However, we can modify this situation to make it so that they can have the punter throw the ball less. Let's clear out these games. To do this, we will modify the coach sliders. You can do this from the option in the Customize menu to edit all team sliders, but for now, let's hit the Team's Quick Coach button. Here are all the options you can alter that will affect how the team plays. You can choose the distribution of the running game and how often each player is targeted. The run-pass ratio determines how often a team will run the ball in a neutral situation. I'll just bump this up to a much larger number and the team will run the ball far more often. Now you can see they had the punter throw far less and it led to more wins. With Super Sim, you have the ability to play with a bevy of sliders and move players around to accommodate for injuries, or just for the heck of it. There are limitless possibilities here. Next, let's move on to the Season Simulator. As you would expect, you can simulate a full season here. The 2023 NFL season to be exact. Let's sim the season. And just like that, every game has been played. You may notice that the team we plugged the punter in at quarterback is still suffering from that. Why don't we check in on how their season went? You can see games by week, but we want to see the Packers. They did manage to scratch off a couple wins. You can see how changing the depth charts can make a big impact in the season simulator. Now for the playoffs. And they're already over. Let's see how the Super Bowl panned out. The Eagles won it, as the simulator commonly has them doing. You'll notice that the higher rated the players are in the depth chart editor, the more consistently their teams will win. Finally, let's try choosing a different roster. First, click Customize and then choose Roster. On this page, you can switch between rosters. The one you pick will have its data stored in your browser. So whenever you visit with the device you're using and on the same browser, any changes you make will be retained unless you clear all cookies. When we select a roster, not just the teams will change, but also the depth charts and the coach sliders. For our purposes, let's try out the 2008 NFL roster. Now let's set up this matchup. And you can see some familiar names from years past. SuperSim can simulate games from any era of football, and you can swap between rosters easily. I hope you enjoyed this brief look at NFL SuperSim, and I encourage you to give it a try and leave some feedback. Once again, the link to the website can be found in the description, and you can reach it from any device that has an internet browser. There's much more to discover here that wasn't covered in this video, like uploading your own rosters. So if you have questions about how the simulator works in detail, please leave a comment and your questions will be answered. Thanks for watching.